Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a get ready with me video, partially because I just didn't have time to do the prep work I needed for some other videos that I have on my to-do list. But also I love doing get ready with me videos. I love bringing you along as I try out new products or share my thoughts on other products I've been using. I also just think it's good to every once in a while do one of these so I can chit chat with you and fill you in on what has been going on in my world. And at the end of the video, I am ready to go for the day and hopefully you have been entertained. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Now let's get started. All right, first things first, I have already done my skin prep and I have switched over to my Ulta MD UV Elements Broad Spectrum SPF 44 for my sunscreen because it's been dry and my skin is needing that extra moisture. On my lips, I'm going to use, this just came over the weekend. This is from a company called Bend Soap. They are based out of Oregon. No, this is not soap. It is chapstick. It's peppermint. And I tested this out when I opened the bag and I was like, oh, this feels wonderful. And on the side, it says 100% natural and edible ingredients. So really good quality soap, lotions, and lip balm. So I have that on, just getting my lips prepped for today. For eyeshadow primer, it's been a while since I've used this. I used this a couple times when I first got it. This is the Paracone MD No Makeup Eyeshadow. But it's basically like an eyeshadow primer. It's slightly tinted. I need to shake it up probably a little more. I just remember not being sure if this really held my eyeshadow in place well or not. Of course, in the summertime, you know, when it's 115 degrees, eyeshadow primer has a little more work to do versus now. So I thought this would be a good time to try it. It is just slightly tinted, but there's not as much coverage as the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. Next, I'm going to go to foundation because I want to give it some time to kind of sink in before I powder later. So I have repurchased the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I bought this a couple years ago when it first came out and I hated it. Oh my goodness. Then I've heard so many people rave about this foundation as wonderful for mature skin. And I thought, all right, maybe I need to give it another shot. So I have the shade 425. I have used this, I think, one other time since I got it. And I believe I used it with a beauty blender. That's what I'm going to use today. I feel like in the past, it highlighted texture too much for me and I didn't like it. But who knows? Maybe now that my skin has changed slightly or I do different skin prep steps now, maybe it will be better. We hope for different results. So life has been just a little extra crazy here. I feel like one more week of craziness. I know it seemed kind of early for the craziness to be present, but this week I have the concert that I play for. There's a choir concert in the community where I live. It's volunteer, but I played for them last Christmas and for a Memorial Day concert, and their concert is this Saturday. There are only 4 weeks of rehearsals, so it is kind of like that mad rush to learn all these songs. So this week is kind of, that do or die week. So I have lots of piano. I have rehearsal tonight. It's the final rehearsal. So that is why I actually have to put myself together today. And I also have been baking all weekend. I have a vlog coming. I've been filming that vlog, but this is what my house looks like right now. My kitchen, my dining room. I still have work to be done. So all of the baking though is done. But when I do baking, I am always up until late at night trying to get it done. This was 2 days worth of baking. I split it up this year. So, and then we did puppy sitting over the weekend. Yes, more on that in a moment. Okay, let's see here. Well, I would say I've got medium coverage. I don't feel like it's full. Got a little texture issues right here, but you know, that's why I wanted to do this first. Let it sink in, and then we'll see what it looks like. All right, and we're gonna let that sit now and go to eyeshadow. Oh my goodness. This is kind of what prompted me to want to sit down and do this video, because I'm like, oh, I gotta try one of these out. So on Good Friday, I was doing a little bit of therapy shopping because our power was out for 12 hours on Thanksgiving Day for the second year in a row. Anyway, the things I'm thankful for are peanut butter and bread, and the fact that I had already baked the pumpkin pie the night before. So that was what we had on Thanksgiving Day. We did Thanksgiving 2.0 on Friday. We didn't have any guests coming on Thanksgiving, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But anyway, I did some shopping, and Viseart was having 50% off. So first I ordered one of the Petit Four palettes. These are the quads, and this is the, okay, I don't speak French. Lilas Doux, Lila Doux, Lila Doux, I don't know. Look at these colors, oh my goodness. So I tried to purposely choose colors that are different than what I have in a lot of my other eyeshadow palettes. Look at those beautiful shades. I got one of the 8-pan palettes. This is the Paris Etoile. Oh, I don't know. I'm so sorry. If you're French or you speak French, I'm really sorry. Okay, look at those colors. Obviously, I was in a cool tone mode. And then the last palette, this is Cashmere. I love the outer packaging, and this is one of the 12-pan palettes. Look at those colors. And this color actually has a little hint of like a khaki green color tone to it. I love the Viseart eyeshadow formula. I think it's wonderful. I did also get a cheek duo. I'll show you when we get there. So of these palettes, oh dear, I don't even know. I think I'm gonna start in with this. Okay, let's just test out. I do like to double check and make sure. Sometimes these tan matte shades can be a little darker than you think. That one actually looks okay. I'm gonna use the Sigma E50, and let's just see if that's bright enough for under the brow. Let's see. Well, it's pretty much the same color as my skin tone. Maybe we'll borrow a shade from here. Let's see. Yeah, that one looks a little better, a little brighter. And by the way, if you didn't know, all of these palettes, these you can remove them and switch them between the palettes. All right, for the crease, I'm going to go in. See, I've got this kind of cool rosy tone going on here. Let's start off with this one, and I'm going to use the Rougher brush number 16. Rougher was so kind to send me a set of brushes to test out. I'm a little late to the Rougher camp here, but I've really been enjoying these brushes. They are soft. They are different shapes than a lot of my other brushes, so I find myself using them for different scenarios than I use some of my BK Beauty brushes, if that makes sense. But this brush, it's pointed, slightly pointed, but really soft, fluffy. It really does get the product in the crease and then blends it nicely. These have actually natural bristles. So I've been a little hesitant to use them with cream shadows and cream products. They say you can, but they are really super soft and they do pick up product, and like the product I think sticks in the bristles a little bit better sometimes than other brushes. So let's now go in with this purpley shade. Let's just see. Ooh, that's pretty. Nice and cool still. Put that, I'm using still that same brush. I'll go down to a smaller brush in a moment, but I've washed these eye brushes a couple times and very minimal shedding. I think I've only maybe 1 or 2 times had a little bit of shedding, but so far really liking them. Okay, let's go down to a smaller brush. I'm going to use the number 14, and this brush, it's well, there's a slight little bit, comes a little bit up to a point, but it's a little more rounded on the top. Now we're gonna go in with a darker shade. Let's just play around with a little bit of this charcoal color. I have a feeling this might be, oh, it is pretty good charcoal. I thought it might have a little more blue, but it's a really pretty color. All right, we're gonna put this just a little bit here on the outer corner. I don't want this look to be too crazy because I do have to go see people today. So we got to keep this look a little contained. Wow, that's really pigmented. So this brush is a little more flimsy. I'm gonna go back to, I do love this 16 brush. All right, I'm just gonna go back and deepen up the crease with a little bit of those two matte shades there. And just blend that outer corner a little bit. All right, let's go in with a lid shade and then we'll decide how we're gonna finish out the rest of it. So in this palette, ooh, that's pretty. So kind of more, has a little hint of some kind of warm pink. And then this shade has more taupe leaning. And then of course we've got these darker shades here. That's pretty. Ooh, that's really pretty. And then this kind of shimmery purple, really pretty. All right, those I'm going to save for a more dramatic look. So I think I'm gonna go in first with this pink shade right here. Let's put this on the lid. And I am using my finger. I just always like to do that with shimmer shades. I think it applies shimmer shades just so much faster. Pretty. Okay, now since I have a little bit of that taupey shade on my finger, let's just add a little bit of that right there. Oh, that's pretty too. All right. And then to finish up the outer corner, I'm gonna go in. I really love these two brushes. This is the 03, a small little pointed brush, and then the 12. This one is, I wasn't too sure about it at first, but it's kind of large, round, and it's great for just tapping in some real kind of more intense shade right there in the outer corner. So I'm gonna do that. I think I might add a little, let's see what the purple looks like mixed with that gray. Whoa. Yep, that's pretty. And because of the shape of this, you can also just kind of blend a little bit, but it leaves the pigment because it's a little more dense. And then I'll go back with my brush and just kind of blend. Fun. Oh, yeah, I don't do these cool tone looks very often, do I? I go back with just a little more of this here. Before I do the lower lash line, I'm gonna add a little bit of this Revlon Colorstay Sharp Line. This is a liquid eyeliner. It doesn't have the shaker ball, and the point is quite long, but for some reason, I really think this is kind of easy to do a real nice thin line. You can just lay the tip of that right onto the lash line and just drag it, and it's really intense and it is matte. So I really enjoy that fact. I do find it's a little bit of a struggle sometimes to do a real dramatic wing with this. So I'm gonna try to just keep this real kind of tame here. Can get out of control quickly. You know how it goes, right? So I think we're gonna stop there. Now, as I said, we had a little puppy over the weekend, just stayed with us one night. Her name is Mia, and her owners are the director of the choir that I'm accompanying. And oh my goodness, she was just the cutest little, perfect little angel. She's only a year old. So, you know, they were a little nervous of if she was really housebroken, you know, but she had no accidents. We had a great time with her. She's a multi-poo, and oh my goodness, just, I mean, cuddled up with me all night long. So it wasn't the best night's sleep, but it was really cute. So the question then, you know, is like, okay, does that mean we're ready for another puppy? And honestly, I don't think we're ready yet, but I have to say it was sad when I had to say goodbye the next day. I thought, oh, it is so nice having just that little bit of company in the house. But definitely you forget that young puppy stage. Like, you know, if they go in the other room and they're too quiet, you're like, what are you doing? So we had a little bit of that, but she was very well behaved. So we might be watching her for 3 weeks next February. So we'll see how that goes. But on the lower lash line, I'm going to start with the Kiko Lasting Duo Pencil. This is in 01, and I'm going to use the silver shade. I hope you can still get this color combination. These pencils are so good. If you didn't see my Battle of the Eyeliner testing, I will link that down below. But this one was one of the longest wearing. Now let's go back to our palette. I'm going to use this brush, the number 3 brush that I really love. Let's try a little bit of this shimmery gray right here. I'm just going to, these brushes, again, because of the type of brush hair, they do really pick up product and powder so easily, and it stays in the bristles. So I feel like you have less fallout when you're using brushes like this. Okay, so I just realized that I forgot to hit record. Again, I had to go clean off my contact. So I am going in with the shade WN04 of the Clinique Even Better Concealer, and I skipped color corrector today. I've just kind of been trying some different combinations of concealers and powders, and I'm really enjoying, I'm trying to keep the layers under here as thin as possible. So I feel like this concealer does a pretty good job on its own. And then what I do is I go in with the slightly lighter shade, which is WN01. And if I have any extra darkness, I just go on right here, kind of towards the nose. And I'm using the A506 from BK Beauty. Did any of you pick up any brushes during the Black Friday BK Beauty sale? I hope if you had your eye on any brushes that you did some shopping. I tried to do mostly Christmas shopping on Black Friday, but obviously somehow these Busy Art palettes hopped into my cart before I knew what was happening, right? Oh dear. I did also get a blush duo, which I can't wait to try. Now there is currently another sale at Sephora, and Ulta I think has a 20% off coupon as well. I'm like, didn't we just have a Sephora sale? And then again, we've got more videos. So if you're looking for ideas of what to buy from Sephora, I'll link a couple of my recent videos, like my Sephora haul video. You can watch that for ideas if you're looking for anything new, but I don't really feel like there's anything really new that I even myself am looking to purchase during this sale. So we'll see what happens. You know, I say that, then before I know it, I'm clicking purchase on something. Okay, I went back around and just kind of tapped out a little bit of the foundation. I don't know. We'll powder, but we'll reserve judgment until I get done. But I'm going to go in next with a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. I picked up a new shade in this. Actually, I think it was one of the only ones that came back in stock before the Sephora sale was over. This is 2.5 Fair Pale. And before, when I owned this, I had it in shade 2 and 4. But I actually really like this shade. It has a little bit of some golden tones to it, but I really do love this product. I think it is really nice. All right, for contour and everything, I think I'm going to use powder products. So let's go in next and set the face. I pulled out an oldie but a goodie. This is the Nikia Joy Velvet Finishing Powder. Some of you laugh at me, but I love how this smells like golden Oreo cookies. Yes. And, you know, since I've been baking, I've kind of been just into the whole baked goods smell in my house. So why not continue that theme and, you know, add a little bit of that scent on our face here. I am so excited to have all of my baking done. I know it's a little early. I do have actually one more recipe of the easiest snickerdoodles you've ever made that I like to make when I have to bring something for a party or something. So I'm bringing those this Saturday for our concert. Whenever I bring this recipe, people who grew up on their mother's snickerdoodles recipe, they always come up to me and tell me, oh my goodness, this tastes just like my mom used to make them. And I never tell them the secret. It's the easiest snickerdoodle recipe ever because it starts with a cake mix. Yes, a cake mix recipe. I don't tell them that, so shh, keep my secret. Okay, next we're gonna go in with a little contour. I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Bronzer, and this is a lighter shade. I bought a darker shade in the summertime and then picked this shade up when it was on sale. This is number 200 Fair, and this is a really nice shade. Let's use the rougher brush. This is the number 18. And this is, again, really super soft. It has that slight little point. So it's perfect for keeping your contour right where it needs to be. So I just am going right back here, right under my sideburns. I was recently watching Lisa Eldridge doing makeup on one of her subscribers, and she was talking about how you want to keep your sculpting back here, and how just by adding it here, it really does give that illusion. And then you're not having to worry about this big muddy mess coming forward. So if you've been struggling with contour, just keep it back here by your sideburns. So I would love to hear if you all do any baking. What is your favorite thing to bake? My favorite recipe, favorite thing that I make at Christmas, and I only make it at Christmas. It's not because it's hard, but it's kind of one of those special things, so I want to keep it special. I make something called Almond Bars, and you will have to watch my vlog so you can see how I do that. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit on the sides of the nose. Actually, I'll go in with my finger. I like to do it this way first. Right, for blush, okay, let's go in. This is the blush duo that Viseart had on their website. Okay, let's see if I can pull this out. This is Damask Blush Duo, and look at these two shades. Oh my goodness. They're even more beautiful in person. I've never tried their blushes. I do have one of their bronzers. In fact, I should have used that today. It's really nice. So let's give these a try. I better swatch them first. Okay, definitely cooler pink. Ooh, those are really pretty. All right, I'm using rougher brush number 05. Let's start with this light pink color, and let's just see how much color we get from that shade. That's really nice. And these are both matte. So they do have some shimmer formulas as well, but they have matte ones. Ooh, that's pretty. See, this is when the eye look starts to come together, starts to make sense when we add a little color to our cheeks. All right, and then I'm gonna go in with that deeper blush on my brush. And I'm just gonna use that kind of more towards the back of the cheek and then bring it forward. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, yeah. These are tones that I personally like to wear more in the winter time because they are cooler. And then in the summer is usually when I'm reaching for more of the warm toned colors. Wow, that's pretty. A lot of color. I am just going in, like just barely tapping. So you can really, the color payoff is really good on these blushes, but okay, I think I better stop there. All right, for my highlighter, we have a little bit of highlight still coming through with the Charlotte Tilbury, but I want to go in with this Honest Beauty Luminizing Glow Powder. I picked this up in the Boxy pop-up sale a couple weeks ago, and I've only used it once. It reminded me though, when I used it, of the Laura Mercier Baked Matte Radiance Highlighter. I think that's what it's called, Matte Radiance Highlighter. So it doesn't have any shimmer or sparkle, but I mean, you're looking at it, you're thinking it looks just like powder, but it has a little glow. So let's use the number 19 brush from Rougher. And I am just going to use this here on the tops of the cheeks, the bridge of the nose. But it's like it not only adds luminosity, but it adds a little bit of a blurring effect too. Interesting. All right, let's finish up here. Now, this big brush from Rougher, this is the number 22 brush. Oh my goodness. Now this is really nice and soft. It is slightly dense, but still has some give there. Oh my word. This is one of those brushes that it's expensive. I looked up the prices of the price of this brush, and holy moly, it's expensive. So I don't know that I can say that you should spend this much on a brush, but it is really nice. I'm just going to go back with a little more of that setting powder and just kind of dust that over the top, kind of blend everything together. Yeah, so this is a really nice brush, but wow, is it expensive. For setting my under eyes, I need to tap out a little bit of the settling here. And okay, here's another purchase. I've only used this, I think, twice, and I just have a feeling it's not going to stay. This is the Givenchy, this powder. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. But this is shade number 2. Okay, this says that it's matte finish and enhanced radiance loose powder 4-in-1 harmony. So this comes in a couple of different color combinations. And this is supposed to, I read all kinds of reviews on this powder, and I don't know. It has not wowed me. Let me just put it that way. But I did use this under the eyes the other day, and I did kind of like the result. But first, I've been testing this out also. This is the Ofra Makeup Fixer, and what I'm doing is I'm just going to spray a little bit on my fingers. Go under my eyes. This was on, I think this was a Black Friday deal with Ulta. And what's cool about this is it says that not only is it, of course, supposed to, help your makeup last through the day, but it's supposed to create an invisible shield over the skin to protect makeup against rain, snow, or shine. And then it says it has green tea extract to help keep the skin hydrated and feeling like skin throughout the day. So I have used this just really under the eyes, and I actually feel like it might be helping my concealer and powder and everything look good, but I've been using it before powder under the eyes. I know that sounds weird, but next I'm going to go in now with just a little bit of this Givenchy powder. And it does come with a powder puff, and you can do this, and then you get like a little bit of each color because, that's kind of the point. But let's go in with this number 04 brush from Rougher. I don't know. Do you see a difference between this eye and that eye? I don't know. This powder is so expensive, even on sale, that if it's not amazing, I don't think it's worth keeping. So it's supposed to have blurring properties. It's supposed to help kind of even out skin tone. But I felt like when I've set my whole face with it, that it was it became shiny and glowy like very quickly. But when I've just used it in a couple of places, like under the eyes, here in the center, that it was actually nice. So I don't know, one of those things I'll definitely keep you posted about. All right, we've got brows, lips, and mascara. So for brows, I'm going to start off with a very old, well-loved product. This is the IT Cosmetics Brow Power in Universal Taupe. This is just the travel size. I don't know how many backups of this I have, but I think I could use this for many years to come and never run out. But the new product I am going to use is this Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel. And this is the shade 01 Blondie Brows. I don't know. I think this may be a dupe for one that I have been using and loving for a while. I'll keep you posted on that, but I'm just going to kind of fast forward this section. All right, let's add some of this brow gel. What I like about this color is it is cooler toned. Sometimes blonde brow gels are more yellowy toned, and you know me, I like to keep my blonde a little cooler, so I like my brows to stay cooler as well. But I feel like this does a great job of adding a good amount of color and holds the brows. So yeah, and I think it was only like $2 on sale. Another Black Friday deal. Let's add some mascara next. And one tool from Rougher that they sent to me that I instantly was like, oh my goodness, I love this. It's their eyelash curler. And it comes with like four new rubber inserts. But the shape and how, do you see how wide that is when it opens up? It just is the perfect, like I can get this all the way up onto my lash line. I feel like this is slightly flatter, so it's easier to get right up close to your lash line and get those lashes curled, but I have been super impressed. All right, for mascara, this is a new one. This is the brand Sochi. This is I believe that's how you pronounce it. This is a new brand to me. Now, what it said about this mascara is that it lengthens, separates, and curls your lashes. Well, I felt like the word that was missing was volume, so I really didn't have high hopes for this mascara. I'll show you the wand, and then I am gonna apply a primer, but it has very, very short, little stubby bristles on it, and I really didn't think it would do much, but it actually works really well. But I do like to apply a mascara primer first, just because I do that with all of my mascaras anyway. So I have a fresh tube of the Dior Maximizer 3D. I'm going to use that first. And now let's go in with this mascara. Now, as I showed you the wand, it is tapered down and it is slightly kind of flimsy and flexible, but I find it actually pretty easy to get close to the lash line. And then as it says, it does separate the lashes well, but you can see, I've used this even without an eyeshadow primer, but over that eyeshadow primer, I mean, we're building length and I think some decent volume at the lash line especially, and without too much hassle. On the lower lashes, just because I need to make sure my mascara is not smudging on my lower lash line while I'm playing music today, I'm just going to go in with the Maybelline Snapscara. This is the waterproof version. I've had some questions about this. I've never tried the regular, but this is the waterproof. And while that mascara dries, I'm going to go in with a little inner corner highlight. Let's go back to this palette and this bright shade that we used on most of our lid. I'm going to use that. Oh, that's so pretty. I think this is my favorite color in this whole palette. Makes me look like I am more awake than I feel. I actually have a bit of a migraine headache today. So could you tell? I think my brain is functioning a little slower as a result, but all right, let's finish up with some lips. I'm going to add a little bit of MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot around the edge. Decisions. I could go so many different directions. Some of you saw this sitting in the back in a video and you said, did you get the MAC Teddy collection? I did. 2 of these are in my purse, but I don't want to use this because you can't get this collection, and all but 1 shade I think is a limited edition shade. So I don't want to show you something you can't get, right? And then Soshi did send me 3 of their lipsticks, and I've tested out 1 shade so far. The pink shade, I just feel like it's a little too warm for what I'm wearing today. I just wanted to show you though. Again, I believe this packaging is refillable, has really nice casing, and the formula, it is moisturizing, kind of a sheer color. It's an interesting formula, but really nice. So it's kind of a lipstick, kind of a balm, but I've really enjoyed this so far. So I'll show those in another video. But I think for today, because I'm gonna need my lip color to last for hours, I'm gonna use one of the new shades of the Maybelline Vinyl Inks. This is the shade Awestruck. They came out with, I think it's a nudes collection. And of course they were all sold out for a while. And then this shade came back in stock. Okay, I swatched Cheeky and Awestruck side by side, and at first I was like, oh my word, they're the same color. But as they're drying down, you can see some slight differences. So this is Cheeky and this is Awestruck. So Awestruck definitely has a little more of a rose tone. Cheeky has just a little more kind of warmth. I pulled out an oldie but a goodie. This is MAC Soar Lip Pencil. I haven't used this in forever. I'm going to be working on a battle of the lip liners video like I did with eyeliners. So we're going to do lip liners. I'm going to do liquid eyeliners. Let me know what else you want to see. All right, now let's shake this up and go in with the shade Awestruck. Wow, that's almost like a dead-on match with the lip pencil Soar. All right, here is our finished look. And overall, I love how everything came together. As I told you as we were going along with the eye look, these cooler tones, I always have to wait till everything's finished to really form an opinion, but I love it. Every time I use Viseart eyeshadows, I'm always impressed with the quality. Love this new lip shade, the cheek colors from Viseart. The rougher brushes, I definitely do love these. I think these are really nice quality. I just find that they are little different shapes than your typical brushes for the most part, especially in the eye category. So if you're looking for a specific type of brush, like this nice little eyeliner, kind of a soft smudger eyeliner, or this kind of thicker bullet point brush. Those are a couple of my favorites. I do love this. These are really nice quality. If you can do that option where you leave feedback in order to get a discount, I think that is a great way to go. But so far, really enjoying those brushes. I would say the 2 things that are at the bottom of my list today, one is the L'Oreal foundation. I feel like I should love this because everybody else does, but after using it again a couple times, even today going in with a light layer with that damp beauty sponge, I just do not like how it sits. It doesn't feel heavy, it's not highly fragranced or anything, but I don't know. I just feel like there's other foundations that look better on my textured skin. So that's just not going in my favorites category. And the Givenchy powder. This did not blow me away enough to warrant the huge price tag on this, but everything else, love how it came together. I will of course leave everything linked and listed in the description box below. Also, I'll leave links to my Shop My page and my Howl page if you want to shop for kind of groupings of products or see my kind of favorites all in one place. That's a great way to do that. So I'll leave those down below. So I hope that this video was fun for you, that you enjoyed it. I always love doing these videos because it kind of feels like we're just sitting across the makeup table from each other, talking about makeup, talking about life, and I enjoy doing that. If you enjoy Get Ready With Me videos like this one, be sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.